Our first guest this afternoon is survivor Paul Arato. Paul contacted Mr. Roselle last Thanksgiving and attended the March 2009 reunion of the 30th Infantry Division veterans of World War II. Mr. Arato is originally from Hungary and will briefly address our students. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Arato.
Thank you, Renee, and thank you, Matt. And hello and my heartfelt greetings to all of you. As you heard from Renee, I'm Paul Arato. I'm a survivor of Bergen-Belsen camp and the death train which was liberated by Carol Walsh, George Gross, and Frank Towers' 30th Division of the 9th U.S. Army. I came to this symposium in my pursuit to meet my liberators and to thank them for giving me a second chance at life. I'm going to be brief, but I just want to tell you how I got to Bergen-Belsen. I was born a long, long time ago in a place far, far away in Karcag, a small town in Hungary, somewhere between Budapest and the Ukrainian border. As you might know, newborn Jewish boys are circumcised at day 8. My father told me that I happened to be circumcised on the 9th day, so I'm not sure I'm still kosher, but however, that very fateful day in November of 1938 was the beginning of the Holocaust. That's on my day of circumcision. On that day, throughout Germany, windows and doors of Jewish homes and businesses were smashed, synagogues were burned, people were beaten, and many killed. We remember that day as Kristallnacht. And during the next 6.5 years, most of the Jews of Europe were systematically killed. Most of the Jews of Hungary were sent to their death in Auschwitz, as were most of my immediate family. Both sets of my grandparents, my uncles, aunts, cousins. However, some of us were sent to other camps, such as Bergen-Belsen. And you have studied what happened during the Holocaust and have had fellow survivors and telling you about their experiences in Bergen-Belsen and how they got there through, as Sarah, my family, went through Austria and Strasshof and finally Bergen-Belsen. So I'm going to fast forward. As you are witnessing, some of us survived those years in spite of it all. Like my fellow survivors here, along with my mother and brother, I was liberated by these brave, wonderful, fantastic soldiers that you have heard yesterday and today, from whom you have heard yesterday and today. While I was too young to remember their faces, I never forgot the men themselves. They were the 30th Division of the U.S. Army. They were some of the young American men who went to Europe and died there by the tens of thousands in order to rid the evil forces from Europe. By the way, while Lieutenant Towers' men were storming the beaches of Normandy and advancing into Germany, excuse me, my future father-in-law was in the US Navy. During that invasion, he was on a barge 500 feet from the shore, spotting enemy shell fire. In a way, he was looking out for these young soldiers on the beach. For us survivors, the symposium is a tribute to these brave and wonderful soldiers and the many who died in battles. One second, please. They gave us back our lives, and we owe them to make the most of our lives. After having received my education, I was lucky to meet a wonderful woman who made us a home. We have been striving to live meaningful and decent lives and teach our 3 children and grandchildren to do the same. Matt Roselle told me that there might be as many as 800 students, teachers, and visitors here this week, and it might be overwhelming. In spite of his warning, I would not want to be anywhere else in the world right now. I think I'm speaking for all my fellow survivors when I say that in one form or another, I relive some of the horrors of 65 years ago every day. How could anybody forget having seen his mother's suffering? No 6-year-old. Excuse me, should ever have to witness his 37-year-old beautiful mother who has given him life, sustained him, and looked out for him. To suffer in those terrible circumstances, her health deteriorated to the point where she had to be carried off the boxcar at the time of the liberation. She was taken to the hospital, which you can all see on the picture in the exhibited on the wall. So why would I be still here 3 days after the initial meeting, my liberators, and publicly reliving those horrors of the Holocaust? It should really be insane. The answer is you, my audience. You are the second or perhaps the third generation since World War II. And you were interested enough to be here. And you are caring and have the courage to share these horrors. And for that, I owe you and I salute you. For closing, I want to salute the America that produced the soldiers of World War II and of all the other wars before and since, and is still producing decent young people today, confirming my love of America. May God bless America.